my pleasure to welcome Magdalena Pongratz to give you some more insight on cross-border optimization for Volkswagen. Magdalena.
Where do I skip?
Forward, backwards.
Thank you. Hello and good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, we're in between. My name is Magdalena Pongratz and I'm really very excited to be here today and talk to you about the importance of cross-border demands for us at Volkswagen de México and in Volkswagen Group. So I already received the perfect introduction here, so I would like to skip this page really quick. Thank you very much, Christopher, for that. I want to talk to you today why cross-border processes have this big of importance for us. Because for us, it's clear in this highly and deeply interwoven, globally connected supply chain, cross-borders do not stop at the borders anymore. In North America, cross-borders, or let's say supply chains are deeply interwoven into or across the different borders of USA, Canada, and Mexico. This is one of the reasons why for us, cross-border processes are not simply operational topics. For us, they have strategic relevance and could be the gist for growth and competitive advantage. So staying on this general level, for us, cross-border processes have a strategic importance and are highly relevant. Why? Because they are absolutely complex and need our constant attention. The second point for us, one of the key factors is to have strong partnerships. Because these strong partnerships are our eyes and ears. Together with stable framework conditions, this is where we see a high and a big advantage for us as Volkswagen de México. And today, more than ever, we need that our logistics is as dynamic as possible. We need our logistics to be able to react fast on any disruptions that we're seeing, that we heard from the different participants before. We need to be active reaction on any kind of disruptions and need resilient processes. So this is now all very general, like why this is important. On the next slide, I want to give you now a little bit more of a feeling, why is it important for Volkswagen Group and for Volkswagen de México? Because what I want to show you on this slide exactly is the footprint of Volkswagen Group in North America, with manufacturing and operational sites in Canada, in USA, and in Mexico. And each single of these sites is playing a unique and very important role in the regional and the global supply chain for us. And the connection of all of these different sites is underlining the importance of seamless cross-border processes. This is for us exactly the point, whether it's like that we're taking components from our plant of Volkswagen de México in Puebla to the Volkswagen Group of America plant, or if it's that we're organizing the transport flow of a material supplier in the North American region to export it into the world. To act as one connected region is essential for the Volkswagen Group and to have a competitive advantage for all of us. But now, this is now general about Volkswagen Group. I would like to zoom out from Volkswagen Group and zoom in on Volkswagen de México. Because I want to show you now two different pie charts. Pie charts that are telling a very interesting story from our view. Looking at our NAR inbound volume from Volkswagen de México, only 5% are coming from USA and Canada. So you might say, why is it important for you that you take a close look at cross-border processes? Because, and this is what you see on the next slide, on the next pie chart, these 5% of the volume represent 29% of our total NAR inbound cost that we're having. So this cost discrepancy that we're seeing here in these two charts is why, and this is what shows us the complexity and the difficulty that is lying for us in cross-border processes. And this is exactly why we, as a planning department in the logistics of Volkswagen de México, are having full attention on these processes, on improving the logistics flow behind cross-border processes, and, of course, improving the costs of these. This is why, on the next slides, I want to go a little bit deeper with you into the different projects that we're having, that we had in the past, and that we're constantly still having, to attack exactly these topics. So, my boss, Peter Koltay, already said before in the panel discussion and already mentioned the NAR inbound tender. I was allowed in 2024 to launch together with colleagues from Audi Mexico, from Volkswagen Group of America, and also from Volkswagen de México Silao, to launch this big NAR inbound tender. What was it for us? We aimed with this NAR inbound tender to attack exactly these high inbound costs and to update our whole inbound network in the North American region. The key changes that we did, at first, we requested transport costs on a 3-digit zip code level, not on a more broader view, because by this we were able to get a more granular view on the prices of the market and the service specification. Based on the feedback we then received, we analyzed the offers and analyzed our network, and were then able to define a new zonal division for the whole North American region, and specifically also here, as you see, for the USA. Additionally, to updating and innovating our network, we were able to onboard new partners that were supporting our updated network with more digitalization and with competitive prices. So additionally to the highlight and the benefit that we saw in doing this NAR tender, we saw the big highlight in the advantages of working together across borders and across plants for us in Volkswagen Group. One additional topic that came out during the analysis of our network and the volume was the need of the less truckload concept for us. We know this Gebietsspedition and less truckload concept very well from Europe, from our Volkswagen Group. And when we analyzed also our volume in the United States, what we saw is not a lot of volume, but many, many suppliers behind, which are not fitting into a full truckload or into a milk run concept. This is why we decided in this NAR tender that we also include a less truckload concept. So what we were doing, we were looking for a partner that is supporting us with an already existing network of consolidation centers to add our volumes of the different plants, consolidate it, and take it as efficient as possible to the different final destination. So for us, this was a strategic movement to the direction of improving the import flows and of course also improving our import costs. But now let's step away from the NAR tender, because this has already happened and the ramp up is for us done in this way. And let's take a look at projects that are always or still currently going on. At first, I want to start with one specific topic. At Volkswagen de México and our logistics departments, we're constantly reviewing how to optimize our frequencies. Because our main goal is that we're able to consolidate orders. By this, we can lower the frequency, and we can increase our productivity. And we see the big benefit behind. We're improving our truck utilization. We are lowering our transport costs, have a better footprint, and at the end also a simplifying schedule. This is one topic. On the other side, we're looking closely on the packaging optimization. Because what we're seeing in mostly in the US business, there is still potential to optimize and standardize our packaging. Because what are the challenges that happen in case we do not have standardized packaging? What we mostly see in our network, if this is happening, we're not using right our trucks. We have difficulties in the handling, let's say in the consolidation centers. There's of course a big risk of any kind of damages and additional customer and customs and border delays. Now, to show you how we put these examples or these topics into practice, I want to show you in the next slides. Sorry, I forgot about the benefits. The benefits if you standardize. So if you standardize, it's similar to the frequency optimization, because what we see here is, of course, we have standardized packaging, we can fill up better our truck, we can reduce our transport costs, and of course, less damages in the packaging. But now to the topic that what happens if we put all of this into practice? By working together, the different departments of Volkswagen de México, for example, planning, purchasing, disposition, together with our external partners as the carrier, as the material supplier, we were able to improve the packaging of one of our furthest away suppliers in Ontario, in Canada, who was bringing on a weekly base volume to our plant in Puebla. So you can imagine, by optimizing, standardizing this packaging, we were able to reduce the frequency of these trucks. And as I said, you can imagine the benefit that is coming if you're able to reduce the frequency from once per week to sometimes once per month now. The benefit for our truck utilization, for our transport costs, and of course also for the packaging itself. Last but not least, I want to go to the last topic that also have now a more and more important value in our supply chain, which are intermodal transport projects. In our inbound planning department, what we're doing is, of course, constantly reviewing our network, but also reviewing, do we have candidates, do we have suppliers in our network that are having constantly high volume, also high weighted volume? What about their geographical feasibility? Is there any kind of intermodal hub close by? Reviewing all of the different evaluation points, then also reviewing the challenges and risks. Can we accept any additional transit day? Can we accept that we need to update, change, or modify our packaging for the intermodal transport? And many points more. So if everything has green light and is confirmed, we do see a big potential from our side for our supply chains with an intermodal transport, as our footprint, as an optimization for our supply chain, and also, of course, for the transport costs. An example where we're putting exactly this into action is right now we have a pilot test going on where we're picking up via intermodal transport from a supplier in the north of the USA, and who is taking volume to our plant in Volkswagen de México. This is for us a very good point and many lessons learned out of it to be able to improve for us the view on it, and in the future to add more and more potential candidates and add more intermodal transport projects in our supply chain from Volkswagen Mexico. But now, to finish up my little insight here, I would just want to go make a quick conclusion. What I showed you before are these two pie charts. So for us at Volkswagen de México, the challenge is clear. We have a small volume, but a big amount of costs behind this small amount of volume. We're attacking these kind of transport problems, transport cost issues, and logistic flows with several strategic responses. As I said, the Nartenda, integration of LTL, standardization of packaging, optimization of frequency, and of course, the intermodal transport. And why are we doing this at the end? We need and we want our supply chain to be as resilient and cost-effective as possible to support the automotive production at Volkswagen de México in Puebla. Thank you so much for your attention.